Censors, telling people what they can and can't watch since pretty much forever. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 censored movies. For this list, we'll be looking at movies that governing bodies took offense to and attempted to change or outright ban. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Star Wars Episode 9 – The Rise of Skywalker. In terms of LGBTQ+ representation, Disney's been taking baby steps. Even when the tiniest steps are taken though, progress can feel like an uphill battle. In Malaysia, 2017's Beauty and the Beast removed a quote-unquote gay moment that didn't even involve a peck on the cheek. While the scene was edited, the country ultimately banned the film. Disney faced a similar hurdle with the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. The Rise of Skywalker contains the franchise's first same-sex kiss, which you'd need a keen set of eyes to actually spot. Nevertheless, the clip was cut in Singapore, where same-sex sexual acts are against the law, in order to maintain a PG-13 rating. Is this one of the reasons why Finpo never became canon? Number 9. Rocketman.
You can be anyone you want. And it's going to be a wild ride.
Disney is far from the only studio that's been censored over LGBTQ+ characters. The lesbian story arc in Booksmart was heavily edited on Delta Airlines flights by a third-party censor. Delta's in-flight showings of Rocketman, which centers on gay icon Elton John, also had its significant same-sex love scenes clipped. Following a backlash, Delta restored both movies with their LGBTQ+ identities intact.
Have a good show.
Rocketman continued to face censorship in Russia, however, where distributor Central Partnership cut every moment directly referencing homosexuality and drugs. Russian audiences thus missed roughly 5 minutes of footage from the original version.
You and I are going to have to be more careful because the papers have been sniffing around. We can't give them anything to speculate on.
The biopic was also edited in Malaysia, while Samoa and Egypt banned it altogether. Egypt also banned John from performing at a private event in 2010, but he's still standing. Number 8. Shrek 2.
You better get in. We need to talk.
Shrek 2 might be a little edgier than your average kids flick, but how did it get banned in Israel? Believe it or not, this decision all boiled down to a single joke.
What do you reckon we should do with them?
I say we take the sword and neuter him right here. Give him the Bob Barker treatment. Oh, madre, no, por favor.
The Hebrew version contains a neutering gag in which a character says, "Let's do a David Dorr on him." In case you didn't know, David Dorr is an Israeli singer, and he wasn't pleased by this shot at his manhood. Dorr felt that the Shrek sequel turned him into a laughingstock, filing a suit and coming out victorious. It was ruled that the film couldn't be shown in Israeli theaters until the scene was cut, no pun intended. Controversy aside, Shrek 2 grossed just under $1 billion worldwide regardless.
I'm gonna just stop talking.
Finally!
Number 7. The Exorcist. For almost 2 decades, The Exorcist reigned as the highest-grossing R-rated movie ever. Upon release, however, many felt that the film should have been rated X due to its graphic content, which remains quite shocking even by modern standards.
With the Father and the Holy Spirit.
Home video version was made unavailable in the United Kingdom starting in 1998. The video ban wouldn't be lifted until the late 90s, once again allowing UK viewers to experience William Friedkin's horror masterpiece from the comfort of their flats.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
Number 6. A Streetcar Named Desire.
I loved someone once, and the person I loved, I lost.
It may seem tame compared to what we see on the big screen, and even the small screen today, but this classic drama was rather risque for 1951. Apparently too risque for the Hollywood Production Code and National Legion of Decency. In Tennessee Williams' 1947 play, it's revealed that Blanche's late husband took his own life after being outed as a homosexual. For the film, this plot point had to be largely downplayed, requiring the viewer to read between the lines.
When I was 16, I made the discovery.
Likewise, Stanley's violent confrontation with Blanche towards the end is left slightly more ambiguous, whereas the play makes it much clearer what he does to her. Even with these cuts, the film still managed to explore many taboo subjects for the time.
On you? Don't. I'm in danger.
Number 5. Borat.
I like you. I like sex. It's nice.
This controversial satire put the mock in mockumentary, practically egging on countries to outlaw it. While the film was a massive critical and commercial hit, it came as no shock when Borat got banned in virtually every Arab country.
Great success.
The film was given a pass in Lebanon, where it performed surprisingly well. Although Borat wasn't banned in Russia, its distribution in the country was met with disapproval. Given the current political climate, Hollywood likely wouldn't take a chance on Sacha Baron Cohen's outrageous portrayal of the Kazakh reporter today.
Will you please teach me how to dine like gentlemen?
Ironically though, Kazakhstan has had a change of heart since the film's release, seeing how it attracted more tourists to the country. The DVD even became a bestseller in the glorious nation. Isn't that funny?
Hot time! Great!
Number 4. Logan.
Guys, seriously, you don't want to do this.
Fox pulled no punches with Logan, finally giving fans the R-rated Wolverine movie they'd been waiting for. Not everybody got to experience the full extent of the film's violence, however. In China, it was released shortly after the film promotion law was put into place, making this the country's first film to come with a legally mandated age restriction. On top of that, China had 14 minutes cut from Logan in order to tone down the bloodshed.
Maybe a quarter of it happened, and not like this.
In spite of the censorship, this adult-oriented X-Men film made $106 million in China, contributing significantly to its $619 million worldwide total. China was actually the second biggest market for the film, right behind the US. It takes more than a few cuts to take Wolverine down. Number 3. The Interview.
You just said that you were gay?
Honestly, this comedy starring Seth Rogen and James Franco likely would have been quickly forgotten if it hadn't been for two things.
Please move on. We have a dictator to kill.
When North Korea vowed to— In the midst of the outrage, Sony Pictures was infamously hacked by a group known as the Guardians of Peace release, although it was made available digitally and found its way into a few cineplexes around the world.
Cause Kimmy, you're a firework. Go and show 'em what you're worth.
Number 2. Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock went to war with the censors over his groundbreaking 1960 thriller. Psycho was met with resistance regarding its portrayal of violence, sexuality, and bizarrely enough, a toilet. Hitchcock came out on top in the long run, keeping a steamy moment in bed shared between an unmarried couple.
When you're married, you can do a lot of things.
Psycho even had the first toilet to be shown in a major US movie. For its worldwide release, Hitchcock did make a few compromises to get censors off his back. Britain notably requested that some sound effects and nude shots be cut from the iconic shower scene. Still, Psycho helped change the standards for censorship. Only 8 years later, the Motion Picture Production Code would be phased out in favor of the MPAA rating system. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Tattoo on your wrist is Macau's sex trade. You belong to one of the houses. What were you, 12? 13? I'm guessing he was your way out.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A Clockwork Orange.
Now, all the time I was watching this, I was beginning to get very aware of, not feeling all that well.
Even nearly 50 years after its initial release, Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange remains one of the most disturbing films ever to make it past the censors. That said, Kubrick did have to trim about 30 seconds of footage to bring the film's rating down from an X to an R in the US.
What we were after now was the old surprise visit. That was a real kick. and good for laughs and lashings of the old, ultra-violent.
The film was also temporarily banned in a few countries, including Ireland, North Korea, Singapore, and South Africa. Contrary to popular belief, A Clockwork Orange wasn't technically banned in the UK, but Kubrick did ask Warner Brothers to withdraw the film from British markets when his family was put in jeopardy. The UK didn't get to see this twisted work of genius again until 1999, when Kubrick passed away.
You're a big, strong Chelevek like us all. We're not little children, are we, Georgie boy?
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.